Chapter 46. The moon began to fade as the brightening sky revealed itself through it. The sun was awakening and Min Lee wanted to return home as soon as possible. Dragon, having waited 3 days and nights, was well rested, so they decided to leave Neverending Mountain at once. As Dragon soared through the sky, any heaviness inside Min Lee left. He seemed to dance in the air, and his happiness made her feel as light as the clouds around her. The sun seemed to warm her heart, and joy bubbled inside of her. She knew she had asked the right question. Before they left, Min Lee and the dragon circled over the village of the moon rain. Da'afu, Ama, Agang, and the villagers saw them and ran out of their stone hut, flapping their ruined sleeves in greeting. "Don't stop!" Ama shouted with a broad smile. "Go home!" Min Lee nodded and waved goodbye until the flowering trees looked like brushstrokes of golden paint on the mountain. Flying on, the dragon made traveling much faster. It seemed as if, in no time, they were above the city of bright moonlight. From the sky, the inner city and the outer city grids looked like a giant labyrinth, and the two stone guardians looked as if they were dog trinkets molded from clay. Min Lee saw the roof of the Buffalo Boy's broken-down hut, but no glimpse of him. "He's probably inside, sleeping," Min Lee thought, wondering if the goddess of weaving had visited the previous night. But as they passed the bay of water by the city, Min Lee saw something strange. Like an orange shadow streaking across the sky. Dragon saw it too and slowed down. As it got closer, there was no mistaking it. It was another dragon. The dragon was orange, the color of the inside of a ripe mango. When she saw Min Lee and Dragon, a coquettish smile spread across her face. "Hello," Dragon breathed in an odd voice. Min Lee looked at him in surprise. But the orange dragon kept flying without saying a word. As she passed, she winked at them. Dragon balanced in midair as if stunned. He watched the orange dragon sweep down and away to the water below until she was a ginger speck in the distance. "Are you okay?" Min Lee asked the dragon as he continued to stare. "You must be excited that you've finally seen another dragon." "I am," Dragon said, as if in a daze. Then he shook himself as if trying to rouse himself awake. "But I will find her again later. I will bring you home first." Min Lee shrugged. Dragon was acting oddly, but there was something familiar about that orange dragon. Perhaps the way her scales reflected in the sun, like fish scales glistening in the water. And those knowledgeable eyes, nodding as if she knew her. Min Lee smiled. Hours passed and the land below them blurred. Min Lee slept on and off. The smooth ride of the flying dragon made it easy for her to sleep. Min Lee was impressed by how far they had journeyed and how much faster they were able to travel by flying. The sun was only beginning to go down past the horizon when they saw the edge of the peach forest. The tops of the peach trees seemed to sway a welcome to them as they flew overhead. And as they continued to fly, Min Lee thought she saw the monkeys still attached by the fish nut around the pot of rice. Oh my gosh, she's retracing the whole story, isn't she? Oh, the whole story is retracing, right? But Dragon was still acting strangely. When Fruitless Mountain, with its familiar black peak cutting into the pink and orange sunset sky, came into view, the dragon almost stopped flying. "What mountain is that?" he asked Min Lee. It's Fruitless Mountain, Minli told him. Right beyond it, next to the Jade River, is my home. Fruitless Mountain, he said to himself, and even though he continued to fly, he seemed to be in a daze. Minli wondered if flying had somehow made him lightheaded. But her attention could not be kept by her concern for him. Night was falling, and the dark lines of Fruitless Mountain softened in the shadowy sky. But Minli could see that every moment brought the Jade River and Fruitless Mountain closer. She was almost home. However, when they reached Fruitless Mountain, Dragon suddenly stopped. He dropped lightly to the base of Fruitless Mountain, where so long ago Minli had taken some stone to make her compass. This is Fruitless Mountain, Dragon said. And again, Minli looked at him. He was definitely acting out of the ordinary. Yes, Minli said, a bit puzzled. My village is just a bit past this. I can walk from here if you wish. Do you mind? Dragon asked. For some reason, I feel as if I do not want to leave here. No, I don't mind, Minli said. Are you okay? The dragon looked at her and smiled. Yes, Dragon said. Strangely, I feel like I am home. Minli wrinkled her forehead in confusion, but was too eager to get home to her parents to ask any more questions. And readers, I want you to be thinking about what is happening now. What is Gracelyn not telling us? What do we have to put together on our own? What do we have to figure out on our own? Minli wrinkled her forehead in confusion, but was too eager to get home to her parents to ask any more questions. Minli hugged Dragon goodbye. He returned her hug warmly, but she could tell he was distracted. She held out the round ball she had taken from Dragon's head. Do you want this? No, Dragon glanced at it absent-mindedly. You can have it. Minli shrugged again, but the urge to go home began to pull at her strongly. She waved goodbye to Dragon and began to run toward the village. It was late at night when she finally reached home. The slumbering village was silent, and as Minli crept into her home, the pale goldfish greeted her. Shh, the goldfish said to her. Your parents are sleeping. Welcome home. Minli was a little surprised to see a goldfish, but smiled a greeting. Remember, her mom didn't want a goldfish at the beginning when she left, right? Moonlight misted over the rough floors and made the sparse room glow silver, the goldfish bowl looking like a second moon. The shabby walls and worn stones seemed to shimmer as if a translucent silk veil covered them, muting any flaws and transforming the house into a dwelling of luminous light and delicate shadows. Minli had never seen her home look so beautiful. Tiptoeing, she put her bag and the dragon's stone on the table and went into her room. Smiling, she climbed into her bed and went to sleep.